Welcome to DWBIADDA channel. Please subscribe for latest training videos.
Hi guys, welcome back. So in our previous lecture we were discussing about how to configure your Jenkins job using a simple Jenkins file. Okay, so we have configured our first project using a Jenkins file like this. Okay, so we have defined all the configuration setting in this file. So usually you'll write everything in a Jenkins file and you'll push that file into your GitHub root directory, and thereafter you'll build this. Okay, so we have not put the file in a GitHub repository because we were not using any, if you can see here. Okay, so we have simply paste our code in here, and then when we apply and then when we build, as you can recall, if we go back and go to our build and go to console output, we can see it has built all the steps that we have defined in a Jenkins file. Okay, so let's go ahead and create another project, this one. Okay, now go to configure. So if you recall, this is our one of the first project in which we have build our Maven job and package our Maven application over a WAR file and archive that WAR file. Okay, so we have defined our code in source code management and in build environment. Okay, in build step we have defined that okay, it's a Maven project and we'll be building a Maven project using a clean package command. Okay, so we'll package, we have run all the life cycle of the Maven application. Okay, and then we were able to archive a WAR file. Okay, so this is what we'll try to configure this with a Jenkins file. Okay, now let's go back and again go to new item. We'll create Maven Jenkins okay, so as you have remembered that since we are using a Jenkins file, we'll choose this pipeline and okay. Now for description I'll give it, and since we'll be pulling a code from GitHub, okay, so we'll be building a Maven project, so we'll be adding a GitHub directory. Okay, so I'll add it. So I've added the GitHub URL, and again you can simply add this Jenkins file into the root directory of your GitHub, or you can add the code in here. Okay, so again for this lecture I'll paste the code in here only. So I want to show you one thing. If you there's a drop down menu. If you drop down it and try GitHub plus Maven, so it will give you a sort of template. Okay, so through which you can help out and create your own Jenkins file like this. This has created a kind of template for our Maven project. Like we can define a tool. Okay, suppose it will install the Maven. Okay, my keyboard is not working. Yes, so it will add the Maven and installation, and again as we have defined the stages, there's a build stage and then there's a post build action. Okay, so build stage, in that you can define a Git repository, the command which through which you want to run a Maven project or build the Maven project. Okay, and the post build action, what you want to do, like if you want to archive, or there's some kind of JUnit kind of testing and everything. So all these things you can configure, and it has given as a template. Okay, so let me clear this out. So this is our Jenkins file. Okay, stages I have already defined that there's only one stage, that is build stage, and in build stage we are defining the steps. In steps we have defined like to run this command mvn clean package. If you recall from our previous job setting, that this is the command we are running to package our Maven application. Okay, so this will run all the life cycle steps of our Maven project. Okay, and in the same stage there is a post build action. In post build action, only when it is success, the steps are: first it will echo a message that okay, I'm starting an archive, and then to archive our war file we'll use this archive artifacts archives colon, and the same parameter, the same settings, okay, if you recall, which we have passed in our previous Maven application, sorry, Maven job. Okay, so this is all. I think I don't think it would be very difficult to understand, as we have already covered Jenkins file and we have already covered this configured this all this setting in our Maven earlier job. Okay, so we'll save this and let's go ahead and build it. Okay, now it has been scheduled. Let's hope it should work properly. Okay, so we have got an error. Let's quickly go inside this and go to console output. Okay, the goal you specified requires a project to execute, but there is no form in this directory. Okay, so I guess there is some issue in my Git in which our code has been configured. Let me go back and check it. Okay guys, that was a blunder from my side. I got carried away, I think so. No issues, sometimes it happens. So instead of adding, I have no idea why I have added this, the URL in here. Okay, so you go down, okay, and you suppose our code is on GitHub. Okay, so we need to add a Git repository. So to add a Git repository, we'll configure this on pipeline only. So we can type, for adding Git, we'll add Git. Since will be using this in our build step, so this thing will be in our build stage. Okay, Git, and then it would be like this, and then inside this you'll add your GitHub repository. Okay, here it is. Now let's save. Now I hope it should work. It's too ugly to see. Now let's do a build now, and it has stage scheduled again, so let's wait for a while. Okay, and see, our build is blue in color and it is success. Now let's go inside and see, it has archived our webapp.war file. Now let's, if we go to console output, here we can see it has run all the build step. Like suppose we have only one, although like there's a build stage and it has run everything. Okay, mvn clean package it has run, and if we go down, see, it has run every lifecycle phase, and it has run test also, and no failure, no error. As a developer, it is quite a relief for me. Okay, and if we go inside test result, all good. Okay, now here it is. Now in post stage action, it has echoed this which we have added in the command, that starting archive, and it has archived our war file successfully, and the end of the pipeline and finish. So I hope you get to understand how we can configure a pipeline using a Jenkins. Okay, similarly we can we can automate our this file also. Okay, this code also, sorry, yes, deploy deploy also. Okay, so I hope you get to understand what is Jenkins file and how we can configure everything, and it is pretty useful. Okay, so thank you so